But let's talk about you and Chuck Liddell for a minute, because I think you guys really like cemented the UFC with you guys' fights. You guys were both so big at the time. I think your first time you fought, you were bigger. And it was just such a monumental fight at the time. And I just recently found this out that you guys were friends before that. Like, when did you first meet Chuck Liddell? How did you first meet him?
Gosh, this would have to be after his first UFC competition back in 1998. One of my managers became both of our managers at the same time, and I started training with Chuck, and we became the first team punishment. And I go to his home up in San Luis Obispo and train with him. He'd come down here to Huntington, train with me, and then the UFC got bought by Zuffa, and they rented a house for us up in Big Bear. He came up to Big Bear, and we were just training partners, man. We were boys. I thought we were boys, but I guess he begged to differ. And I really just didn't understand that. I mean, I had a conversation with him and saying, you know, if we fought each other, we want to make sure that we get paid stupid money, man. These guys are making so much money off of us. We can't stand our ground and defend what we think we should be paid. And he sold out. But, I mean, that's the past. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's so much hearsay of back and forth what people really know the truth is. And I have my story, he has his story, and then there's the truth, you know. And at the end of the day, I know what the truth is. And ESPN tried to say the truth, but they got edited probably about 20 times for the 20 for 20, or excuse me, 30 for 30 on ESPN. Yeah, 30 for 30. And they took out a lot of the truth out of there, man, about what was supposed to be said. And it just shows control. And, you know, I look at the first time me and Chuck fought, I didn't want to fight, man. I didn't. I really didn't. I made $150,000 and those guys made over $30 million. And I just shook my head and said, man, this is not right. I got bullied into something I didn't want to do. Now, the second time we fought, I was ready. I mean, I went on a 4-fight winning streak, and I was ready to fight, all friendships aside. You know, we still got paid okay money. I thought they prematurely stopped the fight, but they gave him the win. That's fine. He was a UFC champ. But he never defended the world title 5 consecutive times like I did. You know, when we were supposed to fight each other prior to I fought Elvis Sinasek, he got choked out by Jeremy Horn. And that's why he didn't fight for me against when I fought Elvis Sinasek, because he got choked out by Jeremy Horn. And Jeremy Horn got arm locked by Elvis Sinasek, and then I fought Elvis Sinasek to defend my world title. But, I mean, that was way in the past. So, you know, now I look at it that I'm still competing. You know, he's only a few years older than me, but I just got a mindset and my physical body and just everything that I've worked for to get to this point. I refuse to quit. I have a lot of things in my mind that just it keeps me going, man. It keeps me young.
Yeah, it definitely, like, you don't look like you age hardly at all. Like, you look very good. Like,
it's all in the blood.
Yeah, it's the lifestyle too, you know, the working out and keeping it going, you know, not taking.
Well, I think a lot of it's to my kids, man. My kids is what keep me young. They're the one that keep me thriving, keep me going, man. And you know, you can't be out partying all the time when you got kids. You got to make sure you be a dad and a good role model towards your children. And that's what I try to do. So I think that's what really keeps me humble and keeps me down to earth. It keeps me the man of who I am. That's for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, I got kids, so I feel you on that one. Definitely. When you said you didn't want to fight Chuck Liddell the first time, what made you, like, go ahead and sign the ink on it? Was he just, like, being too disrespectful, or?
I had the UFC, I had Dana White, I had Chuck Liddell, and all of their fans on me, saying nonstop that I'm afraid of fighting Chuck, and I won't fight him. And I mean, it was such BS. It was nonstop. It was just the company and Chuck versus me. And I got pushed into something I didn't want to do. And I finally said, you know what? Enough's enough. Just got to get this shit over with, and let's do it. And I did it. And I could say I regret it, but I really didn't. I really got to see how people's true colors are. You know, I'm a really respectful person, man. I believe in being a good man, being a good friend. And it was just people turned their back on me, and I got to see who the true people were once the dust settled.
So you guys wound up fighting the second time. Then later on down the line, how long? The third fight was maybe like a year ago or 2 years ago? Or
2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years ago. How important was Tito Ortiz first, Chuck Liddell, the third one for you? Like, he had beaten you twice, and
It was my life. It was my life. I was willing to sacrifice everything in the world to make sure that he did not beat me. And you gotta understand, when that situation did come about and he said, I'm gonna call you out. And I was like, man, for what? You shouldn't be fighting right now. He's like, yeah, just wait till I knock you out again. I was like, all right, here we go again. Here's the Tito's afraid of fighting Chuck. And I can see the whole storyline, what they're gonna build up. And I said, you know what, dude, if you wanna do this, we'll make it happen. And then De La Hoya thought he'd get into the business, and he has no business being in mixed martial arts, and he did, and we put on the fight. And prior to that, I trained 18 weeks for the camp, the longest camp I ever had up to that point in my career. But I wanted to make sure that I was ready, and I was confident, and I was. I knew what I can do. And I stopped him in the first round, 4 minutes and 29 seconds, I believe, in the first round. But it was just, people were clowning him after the factor, but before, he was God. He was like, oh, this guy's going to knock you out, and he's the best, and da-da-da-da. Next fight he got against Johnny Bones Jones, and I was like, you guys must have forgot. I'm going to change history this day, let me tell you. And let me tell you, when I knocked him out, it was just the factor, I made, once again, shit money for it, but it wasn't really about the money at that point. It was more about my name. It was really about my character, of who I personally am. And I was willing to expose the weaknesses that he had, and his chin was one of those weaknesses. So when I tapped him on the chin with the right hand and he fell, I was like, attack.
Yeah.
Onslaught of punches, and it was what it was. I could say that I'm really proud of it, because I was able to put myself through an 18-week camp. I was really able to tell the naysayers that I haven't gone anywhere, and people say, oh, Chuck Liddell, he should have been fighting. I was like, well, the guy should never signed the fight. He should have never called me out. He should have never made me look bad on media of saying that I was afraid to fight him, because I would have let it go. I just said, you know what, whatever. But he wanted to call me out, and he wanted to fight. So he signed it up, and I had to do my job, and that was to knock him out. And I didn't want to take him down. I remember Rashad Evans was doing the commentating for it, and he was like, God, Tito, set up a takedown. And I was like, I'm not going to take this guy down. I'm going to punch him in his face. So I have confidence in my hands, man. You got to have confidence in your hands, and I do.
Yeah, that was a good fight. I like that, because y'all was just like, let's go. We not going to the ground. We just going to throw these
Hell
things.
No.
Yeah, and it just seemed like it was like a burden lifting off your shoulder, you know what I'm saying? He was up on you too, and you just get it out, and just the animosity that y'all had. I just know you really, really wanted that.
Bad. Like I said, 18 weeks of my life I dedicated strictly to that fight, man. I was in one of the best shapes of my life, and my last fight against Alberto Del Rio is my best shape I ever had in my life. I put in a 20-week camp, but once again, I want to make sure I get the most out of my life right now. When I'm 50 years old and I look back and I go, you know what? I got the most out of it when I was in my 40s. I got the most out of it. Because when Randy Couture fought and he won the heavyweight world title at 46 years old, people never thought he would do it. He said, oh, he's an old man. He's done. He's over the hill. Well, BS. He came back and he won the heavyweight world title. And I don't know, can that happen for me? I'll have one more fight in my competition. So, after that, I think I'll be done. I just want to take advantage of the situation and the time right now. My mind's right, my body's right, and everything's like in par where I need it to be at the age I am, and I'm happy. Life's good, man. Life's really good.
Thank you for watching. Click thumbs up if you liked our video, and remember to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you could be notified when we are streaming our interviews live, so you can super chat your questions and get them included in our premium content.